I am your brother in Christ, and welcome. Today we're joined by John Luke. We're here to talk about the Freedom Caravan that's going on in Canada right now. So, welcome, John Luke.
Hello. I'm glad to be back on. And for those that don't know, I live in the capital of Canada where all this madness is going on. So, very interesting to have been able to see this firsthand.
So, you've got a frontline seat in all this thing, everything
Absolutely.
going down. Got your popcorn, you ready to go?
Yes.
So, I've got a list of questions to ask, just to go through some things that have been said. I've done a lot of watching news, a lot of CNN, just seeing what they're saying about this, and I've got a lot of questions.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that me personally, I'll be satisfied, and John Luke can just answer these questions real quick. So I think we've got the introductions through. So let's see here. And I've also said multiple times, if anyone's got questions about this protest going on, to go ahead and join us, leave it in this discussion, and we will go ahead and talk about it at that point. So I'm going to pull up the questionnaire, which I, of course, forgot to pull up.
Absolutely.
I asked everyone on my community if they had any questions. There are 3 votes. Oh, most of them just want to know how long they're going to be there. And we'll see. We'll go through what we got. And maybe you already know the answer to that, but we'll hit that one last. And we'll go through the Q&A section at the end. So the first question, John Luke, how does it feel to live in a war zone? That's a serious question. How does it feel to live in the center of a war zone right now?
Okay. Where I am right now, I do not hear or see anything from my house. However, if I get out and, literally take a couple-minute drive, I will be able to see it. So for me, relatively normal. For others, I don't know. Maybe a little trouble sleeping. Depends on how high you live. Actually, no one lives around the parliament, if I'm not mistaken. The buildings, any buildings where you actually live, they're kind of far off, but I take it because of all the commotion, they can probably hear it from their window if it's open.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. I don't live there.
Then the next question that I'd have, and this is actually from CNN, which actually said this: how does it feel to be a hostage? Is it because you're being held hostage that you're saying this?
I may or may not have a gun being pointed at my head. I will not confirm nor deny.
Do not confirm nor deny that you might have one of these pointed at your head. Understood.
Yeah. Help me. I am being held hostage as we speak.
always check your firearms. Believe it or not, that's something CNN did say.
That's fun.
That the population is being it feels like they're being held hostage. I'm like, really?
No.
So what about...
You know who we're being held hostage by? By our government that doesn't let us get out.
Well, what about all the burning buildings? I mean, like the BLM peaceful protests that were going on. I mean, it's another protest, right? And it's normal for burning of buildings during a protest. In fact, I've got a picture here of protesters right there. Right? So you see
what
a bunch
was
of
CNN
burning.
Stance on this?
That they're burning?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. That picture was from the BLM riots. So that one doesn't actually apply. This one we're showing. This is the protesters. A little different.
A little bit.
This one.
Oh, I see so many of these. You literally drive anywhere, like away from the parliament, anywhere, any bridge you see, there's filled with Canadians. Anywhere.
And here. Yeah, violent protesters, because that was the accusation. I'm going to remove that. That was the accusation labeled against them in order to remove them from GoFundMe. was that they were violent. So you're saying that there's not a lot of buildings on fire?
If you mean by a lot of buildings on fire that they're not, then yeah.
I'll
There's
take a trash
nothing
can.
on fire. There's
There's a trash
nothing on
can
fire.
on fire. There's nothing on fire, which is actually kind of surprising because it's really cold. Like I
Actually,
said, a fire keeps
speaking
warm.
of trash cans, the government pulled this stunt where they took away all the trash cans and enclosed every bathroom at the protest. So people start throwing trash on the ground, but the protesters actually brought their own bags so people can put trash in them and tied them up on the street. So the government wanted the people to trash their streets so they can take photos, but then the protesters were like, "Nah, we're not doing that."
Those
That's
criminals breaking all the rules, cleaning up trash.
fun.
What about
Horrible.
the murders and the constant gunfire, like Chaz / Chop? We had that going on a couple of years ago, and that was considered a peaceful protest. So I'm assuming you got that going on. Oh wait, this is Canada.
Oh wait,
There's no guns.
yeah.
Well, the murders, right? There's
Well-
murders and assaults, right?
Right. No.
Because according to CNN, there are assaults going on. In fact, again, that's one of the charges labeled against the truckers in order to get them off of GoFundMe.
I mean, I personally didn't see anything when I was there, so I don't know.
Okay, what about according to the your guys' police chief up there, that it's an extremely dangerous situation?
The cops didn't have to get out of their cars. They just stayed there. They didn't even have to move. People didn't break any laws. They just protested peacefully, literally.
Okay,
The maximum that I saw of a law being broken is like some people lit up a firework, but that was literally, I don't even know if that's even banned. I don't think it is, right? That's the maximum that I saw. There's no violence. There was nothing. I'm being completely honest. I didn't see any cop car, any cop trying to arrest anyone. Like everyone was fine. It was just normal, I guess.
So yeah, okay. So let me try this one. Now this one comes from Justin Trudeau about them having racist flags and swastikas and Confederate flags waving all over the place. I mean, we saw Canadian flags, but I mean, the Confederate flag would be kind of interesting to see in Canada, I do admit, just because it seems like an odd thing. But what is it like having those fly all over the place?
Actually, I have a story with this one. So I was invited by my friend, like, to go there, and he was like, "Hey, you should come to this protest." And I'm like, "Okay, sure." So I went. It was cool. Everyone was so joyful, smiling, waving Canadian flags, Quebec flags, Ontario, holding up a bunch of signs. It was just very cool. I saw 2 street preachers too. That was nice. And yeah, so I came home and I thought that was like the coolest protest ever. And I go on Twitter and then I see racist Nazis, like white supremacists. And then I go on the news and then all of them are aching like the same story. While I was there, I saw none of that. Nothing. But the way that the media is portraying it really, like, I'm looking at it and it really looks like a lot of people were racist there. But while I was actually there for hours, like the whole day, well, not the whole, like half the day, I saw nothing of the sort. So, like, to me, that was like an awakening. Like, I knew the media was corrupt. And if you guys didn't know, we had like state-run media. And I don't know, it was crazy because there were rumors that the government might try to send in a few bad apples to like incite violence, or I don't know, I guess show racist symbols. And that's exactly what happened. So I was just sitting down baffled at the news, and I was just like, wait, how easy it is to just send in a few of these bad apples, do some racist stuff, and then take your state media, take photos of it, and then just publish the same story on all these articles. And then people that didn't go to the protest will think that they're racist. I was there. I saw nothing. It's so weird to see like the media working right before your eyes, because it's so inaccurate.
Okay, I got a few more questions, but yes, I do admit that was a little odd when CNN was showing all their pictures and all their images, and not a single one of them backed up what they were saying. You know, if there was the violence that they were claiming, then I would expect to see pictures of people getting beat
Yeah.
in the street. I mean, when we had Black Lives Matter protests doing that, there are pictures everywhere.
That's
We had
crazy.
them everywhere. When they were burning things, when you're tearing the place up, beating people to death on the street, you were
Really?
seeing that happen. Yeah, this BLM
Wow.
stuff's pretty crazy. So, okay. So, according to CNN, these truckers honk their horns all night long at all hours of the night, keeping everyone up. So, how's that?
I mean, like I said, I don't
annoying.
live right there, so I literally can't hear them. And I didn't go protesting at night, so I wouldn't know.
Okay. So you don't know anything about that. You don't know if they are honking all night. You don't know if they aren't.
Mm-mm. No, I don't know that.
So that's actually a question mark.
That is
CNN
a
might
question
got that
mark.
one right. So according to CNN, the cops aren't doing anything. That seems a little crazy to me. They're just not doing anything at all.
That's not true. Actually, they have been doing something. And okay, so basically this protest, on GoFundMe, they raised $10 million plus. And yeah, it was basically like, okay, this is a freedom protest against government, right? So like this money is supporting, like anti-government rule, kind of like, what against whatever our government is doing now. But our government decided to do something very interesting, and they said that like actually this weekend, they said that they're going to be taxing the protesters $10 million, which is like exactly the GoFundMe fund. So basically all this money that would go to the GoFundMe would be going back to the government. It's like theft. I don't know what's happening with that, because the GoFundMe was shut down by GoFundMe because they deemed it was like bad or something by their terms of service or something.
Because of supporting a violent protest.
Yeah. But another thing the government was doing, and they sent the police out to arrest anyone that brings fuel to the truckers. Yeah. Oh, so you've heard about it. Okay,
Like
yeah.
this?
So they're doing that. Yeah, so
Where
they're
the guy's pulling up with looks like
okay.
diesel in the
Yeah.
back, and there's the cops arresting him.
Yeah, but my friend, that's really into this protest. Like he's an active, like he goes there every weekend. He said, I asked him if they're staying, and he said, and I quote, "Yep, they're still staying now that everyone is bringing a jerry can, like those gas things. So now police don't know who has gas or water or Gatorade in them, so they can sneak some trucks." And they didn't do much to stop it. It's more of a scare tactic. Yeah, and it's not just Ottawa anymore. Trucks are blocking the borders and bridges all over Canada. Love to see it. Also, the people who got arrested for the gas got released with no charges. It was all for TV. So it's just a scare tactic.
Okay. So they're just trying to scare them into not helping these truckers out, if I'm understanding correctly.
But Honestly, I think by taking away their fuel, they're actually fueling their rage with the government. So, I don't think that was a good play from the government's part, just for them, because now it's just it just shows that they're not for free speech and stuff like that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't
Go ahead.
it's the next elections are going to be fun. These decisions are definitely impacting the results.
Yeah, I got another question here for you. Now, this one I know must be true because it's Justin Trudeau who said it. So that he said that the truckers are stealing food from the homeless.
Um, Honestly, I don't know about that. I haven't actually heard of any case of like food from homeless being stolen. Like yourself, I've just seen this being thrown around on CNN, but I haven't seen anybody do that in real life. I haven't heard of a case. Um, I just don't know of anything like that. It might have happened like once or twice just because they keep on reporting on it, or maybe it's completely fake. I don't know because I haven't heard anything in actuality like that happen, any actual case. So
you're saying that this gentleman here, pictured quite gloriously in
our prime
blackface,
minister.
may not be correct about this, just like he was not correct about our earlier statement.
Remember, he's calling us racist.
Racist flags.
He's calling us racist.
I think he would be, in my mind, considering how many times he's done this, I would expect him to be an expert by now.
He's done it so many times that he can't even recall all the times that he's done it. When the first photo of him doing this was released, he was like, that is the only time I did it that I can remember. And then they published like 5 more photos of him doing it. So fun.
What's so bad is this photo here was taken off a video on YouTube.
Oh, great.
It takes nothing to find it. You just Google Justin Trudeau blackface with a banana. And
with a banana?
That's what pops up. He actually has a banana in his pants to make him look like he's got a big...
Oh, yeah, I've heard
he's compensating for something. It's pretty clear in the video. So enough of that. Get that junk out of here. So, zooming back in here. What about... Again, this is coming from CNN. Oh, no, that one's the honking. We already covered that. We already covered this. We already covered the food being stolen. I think that's all the questions I actually had. I think you've addressed all of them quite well. So think about this. It's pretty crazy because during this whole taking down the facade of me not knowing what is going on, because I do. There's nothing you said that I didn't suspect, except for the whole stealing food from the homeless. I think that's a bunch of bullcrap. That sounds like a real stretch.
I think it is.
Considering I've seen plenty of pictures of people just bringing food to these truckers. So just think about this because it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
During COVID, they're being praised as essential workers. These truckers are the people who are keeping us alive, right? Being held up there as heroes. But now, one day a hero, the next day a villain.
Yeah, literally.
That reminds me of that old Batman phrase from the movie. You either die a hero through COVID or you live long enough for them to make you a villain. That's paraphrased, but it's basically the statement we're seeing here. It's these guys were praised as being heroes, and now that they don't want these mandates, you're now painting them as absolute villains. So going back to the GoFundMe for a second, I actually do have something that came out recently. There's leaked footage. I don't know. Have you heard about this yet? Leaked footage of your mayor basically saying that he is responsible for GoFundMe pulling down the truckers.
Oh, that's fun. I love politicians.
And that now they are, and again, this is in line with what you're seeing, they are going after their fuel and supplies for those truckers.
Nice. So they'd rather have them freeze to death.
Well, I mean, this kind of makes sense. Some of the politicians are saying that these guys are trying to overthrow the government, which, if you watch any of the video coverage, even from CNN, they clearly state why they're there. They're there because they want these mandates removed. This is making it unlivable for them. They've got huge hours that they're keeping, going 12 plus hours. So they are overworked, underpaid, and now they're putting all these mandates down their throat, making it impossible for them to be able to manage.
Mm-hmm.
So now, again, that was from a
Not only
city
that,
official.
they're banned
Go
from
ahead.
working if they're not like fully vaxxed. A lot
Yeah,
of workers are like that now.
let's be
I know
honest.
many people who've lost their jobs because of this whole thing.
There's some Americans who have lost their job because of this whole thing, because of their companies deciding that this is the way they're going to go. We've had protests about that at the individual companies. But, I mean, that was, again, the whole thing of them trying to overthrow the government. That was according to a city official who said that they were there to overthrow the government.
Mm-hmm.
City officials are also referring to them as occupiers and insurrectionists.
Interesting. They need a mirror.
So, yeah, they are really hitting it hard there. So that's actually good. Okay, so we hit all of ours. The question from my poll that I ran earlier with 3 votes, one of them had never heard of the Freedom Caravan,
Really?
and 2 of them wanted to know, and I'm really wondering about that one person because that seems a little odd because I have ever since, granted, when we originally talked about this, the Wednesday before the Freedom Caravan actually happened, I had never heard about it before. To my knowledge, no one has covered it. In fact, most of the time, to be honest with you, most of the time, Americans don't care about the rest of the world too much. The common American. We normally focus on what's going on unless it impacts us. We're normally more focused on the events that are going on in the United States itself. But this has definitely caught our eye quite a bit.
I'm glad.
It's good for us to see. It's wonderful to see. It really is. And America is founded by rebels. America is founded by people who protested government. So yeah, it's really cool. And again, to be completely honest with you, I had very little respect for Canada before this point. I had very little respect for most Canadians. And some of my family's Canadian. I like them. Don't get me wrong. And I don't think there's anything that I dislike about them. But as generally, I had a bit of a passive dislike. A friend of mine once said there were a bunch of, he was referring to the French Canadians. They're a bunch of cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
I think it's interesting he said that about the French Canadians, though. They're nothing but that.
The kicker is he then found out that he was French Canadian.
That's funny.
So, watch it. It might bite you in the butt. But that I found absolutely hilarious.
I mean, historically, French Canadians have been absolute rebels and absolute pain for the government up until, well, I guess the last few years. But yeah, heavy separatist energy going on.
Cool. I mean, I got incredible respect for that. So the question is from our other subscribers on YouTube is, how long are they going to be there?
They said they are not leaving until all mandates are lifted for all Canadians.
more power to them. I hope they do that. I hope we get our
Yeah,
butts moving and follow suit.
it doesn't seem like it's getting any smaller, by the way. Like I have I was there on like the first day, on the first week of Saturday. Sorry, the first week on Saturday, because now it's the second week. But my friend has been there both times, and when I was there, it was absolutely massive. I could not believe my eyes how many people there were. But my friend said that it's at least twice as bigger now. It's twice as bigger this week, so
So
it's
it's just
growing.
keeps growing.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
My wife has a great question. How long until the government gives, though?
Um, well, actually, there have been signs of the government giving. So, for example, Saskatchewan is going to be lifting all mandates completely. Quebec is removing the tax of $1,600 on the non-vaccinated, but the media is all like, "Oh, that is not because of the protesters. It's just awfully coincidental timing or something like that." It's nonsense.
It's also
But yeah, they're bowing their knee, and as much as Trudeau wants us to think that he's not bowing his knee, he literally ran away from the parliament. He's scared to death, or at least wants to make it seem like he is. So I personally think that the government will be somewhat submissive to this, because either way, the elections are coming up, and I don't think the Liberal Party would particularly enjoy it if they lost a lot of their votes, because a lot of Canadians are up with this. So that's why the propaganda is running all-time high, but a lot of people are not believing it at all, just because of so many people have been and are going to this protest. So many people are willing to speak and like point out how, hey, wait, this is a lie. This is all fake. I was there. None of this happened. um, this is all a setup by the media, and we got state-owned media. That's the government telling us what they want us to hear. So, yeah, it's very
uh,
fun that no one is putting up with the government anymore. So I think they'll have to bow to the people, like they should.
absolutely again American. So I'm tickled pink by this whole thing. This is great.
I know it
This
is.
is fantastic. Oh,
I hate
so
to say it, but I was losing hope before this, but people are standing up. They're
hey,
done with this.
to be honest with you, I lost hope in Canada. That's why I said I had very low respect for it. But then seeing this, it's like, ooh, this is pretty. I like this.
Actually, I snapped a photo on my time there, and this was on the door. Oh, this was so funny. Like you go down this alleyway, and like every company has a Canadian flag except CBC, which is like our state-owned media. That was funny. Um really paints a picture. But I took this photo. Someone put this on the door. I don't know if you can put it up, but I thought that was funny.
1 second. I should be able to share my Discord real quick here. Do power of being able to do stuff on the fly.
Indeed.
There we go. Not very good. Let me see if I can enlarge it. There we go. Okay, a bit better there. No, not much. Okay, well, that's about as good as I can get. Let's just put solely. Okay, go ahead and explain what's going on there. I
Click
can't really
open original
zoom in.
if you can.
I don't know what it'll share, so I'm going to remove that temporarily. Open original. I see. I'll have to share a different thing because I was specifically sharing that one screen. 1 second. Share screen. There we go. There we go. Okay, we should be able to see it now. Should be able to zoom in. Not like that. Zoom back up. Zoom into the sign. Haha. There we go. Is that what you want to show us?
Yes, that is on the door of CBC. Someone hung that up. I thought that was hilarious. CBC, for the love of all things good, please cover this honestly. Informed consent and coercion and mutually are exclusive. And that was, I love that.
That's crazy.
It's funny because they didn't, and they saw that sign on their door and they still didn't.
So we don't have, strictly speaking, state-run media, but we might as well now have state-run media. I mean,
because it's all
CNN
bought.
covers everything. It's all extreme biased. At least the mainstream media is. Sickening so. Again, like I said, there's no difference between the mainstream media we have down here
In ours.
and what they're doing. And your state-run media. There isn't any difference between the message that they're giving.
Here's another photo I snapped. And people like brought a whole like log, and then they were stand up on it.
What's with the log?
I just opened the photo. It's people like brought logs and then just like stand up on it and they wave flags.
Huh. I mean, yeah, they seem like they really want to overthrow the government. After all, that's the first thing revolutionaries do. They take the state flag and start waving it all over the place.
Oh, I just caught, if you go to the bottom right, there's a pretty cool sign. I like that. I see a bunch of those.
Good. Zoom in. And scroll down.
Amen to that.
Yep. Amen. Absolutely. So yeah, like I said, the fact they're calling these guys violent, I have yet to see any credible source, including the videos from CNN. I mean, again, if you've got these violent protests that are going on, we know for a fact, even when the mainstream media wants to cover it up, you can still find video of it. Are you telling me that now that the mainstream media wants to show it, then they can't find any video proof? My wife asked what it says. Oh, she's asking what the sign said.
Oh, it says, "Dear evil, God will destroy you."
Too blurry. She said it was too blurry and pixelated. Thank you for letting us know.
Oh,
it's probably my connection, which I've had issues all day. It's been really bad here weather-wise. And I'm not sure why we are currently having this issue, but c'est la vie.
C'est la vie, exactly.
So, yeah, the protests are going on. This is really cool. This is fantastic. Really encouraging to see a breath of fresh air in the midst of this pit of despair that we're in. Definitely down here in America. It's much more entertaining watching you guys revolt than watching our president fall apart.
Yeah.
I just really, you know what, every time I watch him do any sort of interview or anything like that, and he's stumbling over his words, I really feel bad for him. I really do.
Yeah.
I really feel bad for this poor guy who doesn't know what on earth is going on anymore, who's so lost. It's not funny.
Yeah. I honestly don't know what to say because I think you said it all.
So let's see. Justin Trudeau, going back to him, where is he currently? He just like disappeared, had COVID as soon as the truckers rolled in. He got COVID and
also don't buy that. He doesn't have COVID. People predicted that he's going to have some kind of convenient measure to, escape he doesn't have COVID. There's no way.
That's what I said. That'd be the most convenient case of COVID ever. I mean, he literally got in there and said, it wasn't bad. Get vaccinated. Literally. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. Anyway, well, apparently he's not in his house for one, in his $1 billion mansion, that that taxpayers funded during this pandemic, by the way. And yeah, there are rumors that he's actually in the United States right now, somewhere in hiding, but from what I've heard, we don't know. My friend, who's much well versed on this, way obsessively well versed on this, he might have an answer. So I might ask actually, but I don't think we officially know where he is.
So we got that. If you guys are wondering, another one of the questions I put down there was how to help these truckers out. We already talked about GoFundMe, how they have abandoned them, and they just were a piece of crap about it. Let's be honest, GoFundMe was a piece of crap. As far as I'm concerned, they need to go into the bottom of the pit of despair, because man alive, they were going to take the money that was originally donated to these truckers that they hadn't paid out yet, and they were going to redistribute it as they saw fit.
Okay.
That's illegal.
Okay, so basically, if I'm not mistaken, if you want to support the convoy, they actually set up they gave up GoFundMe because of their corruption, and they went to a Christian donating site, and it's called givesendgo.com.
Yes, and I have the links in the description of this video if you guys want to be interested in donating to them. One of them, interesting enough, is called Adopt a Trucker. I was very tempted to do that one. In fact, I'm still tempted to do that one just for the fact of Adopt a Trucker. That is got to be the most ingenious name I've ever heard. My wonderful wife saying I'm a bit glitchy. That is unfortunate. Fortunately, there's not much I can do about that today. I tried to fix it beforehand. I have no clue why that's happening. For some reason, my bandwidth seems to be rather low out here in the office.
Mm-hmm.
So
go ahead. I am definitely glad that they switched to this site, because it's so much better. First of all, I doubt they are going to be taking them off now. So the power's back to them, and they've raised already almost 7 million. Jeez. Wow. And there is a whole prayer request section on this website. So that is definitely helpful.
Cool. So yes, if you're watching this, go check out these sections. They are linked in the description. These people are giving up their livelihood to be able to do this, to be able to do this protesting. They are literally fighting for the other Canadians for freedom, to be able to make your own medical decisions. I mean, this is pretty basic, that you get to make your own decision on what you put into your body that you're going to have to live with forever. And again, I do a lot of contract work. I go to a lot of my own customer sites. They have their own rules of PPE. Some are like, you got to wear a mask. Some say, well, you got to wear safety glasses, steel-toed shoes. So I go ahead and I wear those. But at the end of the day, I get to take those off. This vaccine stays with you forever. Mm-hmm. It never really goes away.
Right.
Its protection diminishes, yes, but it's with you for an extreme period of time. And again, I can't take it off during the weekend and just be me. And whatever side effects this may or may not have, we just don't know anything about that. I'm being very careful not to get kicked off of YouTube for saying something stupid. You have to live with those, and you have to be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
She says there's a Freedom Caravan US. That's cool. That's awesome. We're now mimicking you guys. You guys started it. We're going to go ahead and mimic it.
Good.
That's fantastic.
Good.
More power to them. We got to kick this thing in the butt.
Actually, speaking of spreading, well, I'm glad it's in the United States, first of all. That's really good. But a lot of European countries have stepped, like a lot of them, a lot, have stepped foot and started protesting, starting their own freedom convoys. I'm so glad. And all over Canada, in literally every big city, Toronto, my friend's in Vancouver, and he attended a freedom protest. It's so great. They're everywhere.
And my wonderful wife says it's in DC.
It may have started Canada.
So not yet.
It may have started Canada, but at this point, it's way beyond Canada. This is a worldwide movement. This is everywhere.
Which is fantastic. Hey, welcome. It's good to see you again.
Greetings and blessings.
We're talking about the freedom caravans. Now plural, which is fantastic to see. Because,
plural,
let's be honest,
multiple times.
Again, whatever your decision is with this vaccine that they're doing, again, I have a lot of misgivings about it. I'd like to see a lot more long-term studies based upon it, because I work with data all the time, and I'm looking at this saying, there's nothing here. And they said they'll give it to us in 50 years. And I'm saying, that's sketchy. So whatever your decision is with the vaccine, as far as it goes to yourself, that is your decision. But that should be your decision. That should be everyone's decision. It should not be forced on anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's really what this protest up in Canada is about, and now spreading to the United States. So again, if you guys are curious about supporting them, go check out, what was it? Give, Send, Go. It's a Christian group. This is fantastic. I love it. I might end up going on there myself and setting something up for my channel. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Or maybe just set something up for Ellie, because let's be honest, she's much better looking than I am.
Look,
you can agree to that. Just to let you know, I'm not going to kick you off the stream if you agree that my wife is better looking than I am.
She is beautiful.
So yeah, again, America is founded by rebels. We rebelled against the world superpower at the time. The following century, we became the superpower.
Yeah.
That's really crazy to think about as far as history goes, though.
Yeah, just keep in mind that, anytime they try to oppress us, we just grow stronger. Think about how Jesus, he was beaten, crucified, but at the weakest, he was strong, and he won the world without spilling anyone's blood, but his own. And that is amazing, because look at what they're doing. They shut down the GoFundMe. We come back stronger. We have the Give, Send, Go, which is much better. So they can keep piling on us, but they're just going to be fueling us to come back stronger. And that's just how it is. And we've already won. We got God on our side.
Yeah, and even though they're trying to paint you as these rebels who are burning down everything and ripping up everything, believe us, in America, we're quite familiar with those sort of protests. By all accounts, you can't get much more peaceful than that. They're over there playing, what, hockey?
Yeah, they
on
are.
The street?
And we have
that was hilarious.
We have inflated parks there now. No, kids are jumping on them and stuff.
Oh my gosh, this is such a violent protest.
Oh no. Yeah. I'm going to turn a certain quote on its head, and I'm going to say that reality is much more important than perception. So they can try to make us seem like we're these horrible people that want to, kill everyone. But no. No, we're just here for the people. We're here to take the government and put it where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be serving the people, not the other way around. We're not servants of the government. This government is serving us, the people.
Absolutely. again, that's the whole concept of the United States. In fact, I know we had that discussion back when we first met about how the states were originally developed, how it looks like in Washington, D.C., there's a quagmire, but it's kind of supposed to be gridlock because it was supposed to be slow to react, so we had enough time to examine the original intent, mind you, examine what was being put forth to make sure that the people actually wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, go give, send, go. Fantastic.
Give, send, go.
Yep, give, send, go. Don't mess that up. Fantastic links in the description for you guys to check that out. If you have any questions about this live stream, go ahead and put it into the link about what's going on with the caravan. Again, John Luke over here is in the middle. He's been there to it. He's seen it firsthand. So he could probably answer it. And he'll answer a lot more honest than CNN will. I guarantee that. Now that I put my name on it, you better not lie. Because I will get in trouble now. But yeah, as you guys are typing that in or adding it, if you guys want to, I'm going to share my wife's merch. So I normally do as we get towards the end of our videos. My wife has added quite a bit to it. I've shown it off once where she's had the expanded variety. But I'll go ahead and show it off again. Ooh. So she's got me on there. Look at that, nice fancy me. And allegedly she's going to be doing a one punch version of me as well. So I will be having my own t-shirt in the same sort of format as Vocab does there, or David has his. We have our live t-shirts. We have my baby, not my body, not my blood shirt, which again goes back to Elle's experience of having a different blood type than the baby she was carrying both times. So that was interesting to learn that the baby has a different blood type and she had to get special shots in order to prevent her body from attacking the next child in line. So if we go on down, we see David Wood there all set up. Look at that. That's so cool, mug. I like mugs, okay? I'm a fan of mugs. It looks like a cool mug. I mean, you have David there punching Mohammed. That's a cool mug, okay? You got me. You got lots of me.
Beauty.
You got Vocab here on his own mug.
Very nice drawing.
There. Very nice. Serve the underserved.
Ooh.
Which, of course, is what he says all the time on his live streams. So really cool. And then, of course, you got Woody Meme on there as well. Sorry, could not resist that. He has 2 mugs, okay? He's got 2 mugs, okay? 2. You can collect 2 on there. And what I heard, and this is just rumor, is if you collect all the mugs and put them right next to each other and listen really carefully, you can hear the Magic Backpack song.
And you could faintly hear him saying, "What do you mean?"
So, scroll down. And she has got some other things in the work that, to tell you truthfully, is going below. There's some stuff she's seriously been working on the last couple of weeks that she is getting really close. In fact, spoiler, but she is looking at getting something released on the 11th. So she's going to try to release something on the 11th. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll just have to wait to find out.
She said not to spoil it.
I'm not spoiling it. I'm saying that it's called building anticipation. It's called advertising. Because they don't know what it is, but they know it's coming.
You got me hyped up.
It is awesome. It is by far my favorite thing she's done so far. So remove that. So, okay, I don't see any questions down there. Again, this is a bit of an oddball doing the stream tonight. I did one yesterday. I did one today. And I'm doing one tomorrow.
That's fun.
I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be tired. And then, of course, I got all the shorts that are coming out every day. Whew. Except I think Saturday. I take a break on Saturday because I need time to catch up. I got to do research sometime. I'm still not doing this full time here, guys. But tomorrow, let's see. We're doing gender, the gender spectrum.
That's fun.
That's going to be so enjoyable. But someone did request that I do that, so I definitely need to do it.
Yeah.
Not spoil the art. I didn't spoil anything. I am a good husband. I advertise your stuff. I hint to your stuff. I don't spoil your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple phases like that. See?
Someone asked a question for me.
There we go. There you go.
All right. What was my part in the protest? Okay. Basically, my friend messaged me and told me about the protest because in the days anticipating the protest, I conveniently did not hear anything about it. But then my friend told me about the protest and he was like, oh, this is probably going to be really big, really huge. I'm like, okay, we should come. Absolutely massive. I went there. We had a big flag. We've seen trucks, cars come, lots of trucks coming in from the United States, which was, wow. Lots of Europeans as well, though much less than United States for obvious reasons. I just walked around, marched, and cheered on at the parliament for hours upon hours. And it was the best protest I have ever attended. Absolutely massive. And I'm planning on going again. The government is not scaring me at all.
Again, lots of burning, pillaging, and looting, right?
CNN and CBC wishes.
Kids on bouncy houses.
Yeah.
It's the most extreme you get.
Absolute terrorists.
People waving the Canadian flag. Oh my, they're patriots. Woo. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. I do a lot. It takes a lot of work. And I never know if these are any good. I don't. Put these things out and I'm like, I hope these are decent. Here you go. But I get all YouTubers feel that way. We really do. We're like, oh, well, we hope this does well. Hope everyone doesn't hate us. But let's be honest, with some of the stuff I cover, most people do hate me. So.
Yeah. That's supposed to be a Canadian flag, by the way, on mobile.
Yeah, it doesn't translate too well.
No, not really.
I guess it is. I guess it is the flag. Zoom in there. There we go. Okay, I see. Okay, there we go.
Kaka. Yeah, that is a shame. how that read. But yes, I appreciate the sentiment very much. Thank you for backing us.
My wife has a question for you, actually. I think it was in response.
Oh, no, I don't. Well, I mean, technically I do, but I don't use it. It's like a YouTube account, you know? Not a channel.
Don't upload videos to it and
no.
Make content and get yelled at.
No.
Then YouTube takes your stuff down because they don't like you. That sort of stuff. No, I still think you should. I think you should throw it in there. Do something like this.
By the way, Elle, I gotta say, artist to artist, I really love your drawings on your merch store.
They are pretty cool. She was pretty happy about how it came out, how they came out.
Mm-hmm.
Looks nice. still think she needs to get more of her stuff up there, though. No, she's got the Alive stuff. I always put that into my pro-life videos because I can. It's really cool because even if I zoom up on this one here, I don't think I may have mentioned it. But right there, that picture of a baby. It's actually my second son in the womb. That was a 3D ultrasound that she
Wow.
took and turned into this shirt.
Advanced.
So we turned that, and then we turned it into signs that we took to a pro-life event locally, and we had those up, and it was a fun time. It was cold. It's cold here a lot, but
That's funny.
another question from my lovely wife.
It definitely gets cold up here too, to say the least.
So which one is your favorite of her art?
I really like when you draw humans in. You have some really nice shading. I especially love the "What do you mean" one. That was very nice.
That took her just a little behind the scenes. That took her a long time.
Mm-hmm.
She seriously invested a ton of time into that.
I can tell.
And I think it paid off.
Definitely. The very nice composition.
Here. There you go. I think it comes off nice, crisp. Not sure if you're an anime fan, but that goes back to One Punch Man, that whole series she's done. So she's done David, she's done Vocab, she's done What Do You Mean and his wife as characters from What Do You Mean. She's done herself as well. And I still think she should put that up as merch as well. Hint, hint. I think that'll look nice.
Wink. Very casual.
That was very awkward when she had to ask, hey, I don't want to ask you for like shirtless photos, but the tattoos. How do you what sort of tattoos do you have? So she had to go through pictures online and piece together as much as she could. Again, she did a great job. She nailed it, but it took a long time.
Absolutely. You know me, I have tattoos everywhere. No, I'm joking. I don't.
So she asked him, do you have pictures of your tattoos? It's a discreet way of asking him, can I get a shirtless photo?
Amazing.
So that was an interesting story. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't care if you ask him for a shirtless photo. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It's just like, it's kind of awkward. My husband's sitting right here, and I'm asking another guy for a shirtless photo. This is a little weird. So I know that David was the first one I think she did in that style. There's a Saitama there. And David loves a six-pack. When he first got explained, he's like, I had a six-pack. That's great.
Yes, that famous picture. Like, there's this arm in this photo. Here's this tattoo. Nice.
Yeah, she had to piece it together. It's like, okay, I can kind of see this part here. So I'm thinking it's like this. And it's like, okay, that kind of joins over here. She's over there piecemealing this guy together. It's like, this has got to be an easier way to do this. But again, it came out great. It came out perfectly.
Absolutely. Truth destroys deception. Exactly.
Truth destroys deception. Serving the underserved. And then we'll put that back
What
on
do you
there.
mean?
And then what do you mean?
All of them have catchphrases. You guys should get
David
your own
really doesn't.
catchphrases too.
David really doesn't have a catchphrase too much.
Yes, he does.
He does? What is it?
Isn't it like the miracle of reinterpretation or something like that?
The miracle of reinterpretation.
I think he has another one.
I don't know if he's used that before. I don't know if it's been his catchphrase because, like, the other ones, they always say that at the beginning of their video.
No, I guess he doesn't.
He really doesn't.
You guys should get one, though. Both of you.
We should have our own catchphrases.
Yes.
Well, superheroes normally do have catchphrases, so I could see your point in that.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what should they be?
Hint, hint in the chat. You guys should type in your suggestions.
Suggestions for what our phrases should be that should start. I have mine now.
Ooh,
yeah,
reaching hearts with arts. That is good.
That is good. That's really good. I think I might be on a slight delay.
Ooh.
It's on her shirt, but she doesn't have it on the website. I know.
That's a major hint.
Very nice.
Wink, wink.
It looks very, very, very nice, by the way. Her shirt pulls it off perfectly with her character. And if you've seen her video, she does something, again, I'm hinting to it. I'm not going to tell you what it is. She does something very interesting in it with perspective.
Oh, so, interesting.
I have to check that out to see what I'm referring to.
I mean, oh, he says he thinks he knows I have a channel. Well, if you know what my channel is, there's literally nothing on there. Otherwise, you might have the wrong guy.
So yeah, we're looking, for me, my character on there, we're looking at my sort of phrase for that. And I'm still trying to figure out what it is. Now, I've used a couple of phrases beforehand. I'm leaning towards one in particular or making up a new one. So I'm just thinking about it on that end, which way to go with it. I don't know, John Luke, do you have any suggestions?
This is a phrase that will stick with you for a long time. I will have to
I don't know if I want that. Yeah, it's not something that's so easily done.
Hey, you can always change it. It's good to just have it kind of pop out of the heart, not to think or stress too much over it. It's something that comes out of the heart naturally. If you don't have one, then that's okay.
No, I think
it'll come.
Out of the two that I'm thinking about, one comes out of Revelation 12:11. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of the testimony. They did not love their lives so much until death. So I like the end part where it's like not being afraid until death. Because that really sums up what we're doing here. And I made that disappear. I was probably showing that. I was trying to figure out what verse it was.
Ooh, actually, I have one. Maybe that, you remember that photo I sent where that guy, that Canadian, is holding up that sign that says, "Dear evil, God will destroy you." I think that's catchy, and it has history because it ties back to, people fighting for freedoms, and it can be used in any context too, because you tend to report on a bunch of evils, especially in your shorts. So at the end you can go like, "Dear evil, God will destroy you." And remember, I don't know, I like that.
That or through trials and tribulations we grow.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm not sure, because I've used that phrase a lot. that through trials and tribulations, trials and persecutions, we grow. So I'm thinking that's what one I'm leaning towards the most.
I feel like in the context of your channel where you report on a lot of evil, the Dear Evil one works a lot. Sorry, Dear Evil works very well. I had a my English stopped working. But yeah, that's cool. Hold on. What did L say? Let's see. Evil will die. We don't. Nice. That's catchy. That's very catchy.
Or won't. That's actually really good. And that goes along with the character more, I think. Evil will die. We won't. That's true. Because in the end, we do win eventually. It just takes a long time getting to the end.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, let's go ahead. We've been going on a while. It's over an hour-long stream already. I know it doesn't feel like that, but it has been.
Oh, wait, before we go, my friend answered, and he said that Trudeau was at the Parliament yesterday at night, but now my friend has no clue where he is now.
So he snuck in at night?
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. Justin Trudeau, your prime minister, is so scared of these truckers that he snuck in at night to his own office.
Yeah. I mean, this guy, it's just really interesting. Like, we didn't have that whole, like, those major, like, destructive protests of, like, BLM in Canada, but there were some, like, protests here too. And Trudeau, our literal leader, bowed. Like, he bowed to the crowd. That is I don't really care what the cause is. I feel like a representative of a nation shouldn't be literally bowing to a crowd, because I don't know how it is in the political world, but that might be interpreted as weakness. But here is where people are actually fighting for freedom. Yeah, no, he's just gone from completely lacks leadership. He's left the parliament and just resided somewhere unknown. Yeah, our leader is a non-leader.
If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I think he's going to crumble with the truckers. I really do. Because he doesn't have backbone. Unless he decides, he's already been, people have already asked him about calling in the military. That's been something that's been thrown around.
And he avoided the question. He dodged it.
He avoided it. He dodged it as being let's talk about something else over here. COVID. Actually, I think it was the segue into what David's video was about, which is battling Islamophobia. That's where we need to go. We need to battle Islamophobia. It's our number one priority. I'm like, dude, you're hiding in a bunker, basically, from truckers. And you're trying to convince me that you guys are going to be tough on anyone that says bad things about Muhammad. And by the way, my last live stream yesterday would definitely be classified as that.
Yeah.
As Islamophobia and hate speech. Even though all I did was basically read the sources.
Yeah, Trudeau is actually, like, he's doing some demonic works. Like, last year, we had churches being burnt down all over Canada. Like, I think it was like at least more than 24. Like, it was a lot of churches being burnt down. And while all of that was happening, Trudeau had like no comment. But what he did tweet out is about Islamophobia. Are you joking? While churches are being burned, you don't stand to help your own people. You just talk about how Islamophobia is bad. Churches are literally being burnt around. I haven't seen one mosque being burned.
No, they don't. So let's see. Or it becomes front page news when anything bad happens to a mosque. But churches, they burn all the time. Oh, what were you referring to? I kind of rolled on by without catching it. So as she's putting that in, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Again, that's why I was hoping Canada, as far as it being anything, I was thinking it's going to be if anything, I think it's going to be a stronghold for the enemy, right at our border, right there, stronghold for an enemy. I was thinking Trump might have had it wrong. Maybe we should have built a wall on both sides. So, but it is what it is, and we have some good feelings coming down, some good events coming up. So, okay, no problem. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and wrap this on up. Unless there's something else you want to add, John.
No, not really.
Okay. I guess my only thing is look back at history. For everyone who's watching this later on, at any point, look back at history. Take a look at events that have already happened. Because tell you truthfully, what we're going through, the technology is new. But other than that, nothing else is. It's the same grab for power. It's the same grab for authority that we've seen many, many times. Go ahead.
Good news, literally 23 minutes ago. So a vaccine passport's gone at midnight in Alberta. Yay!
Yay.
See, they're bowing. Literally right now, as we were talking on this live stream. CL?
Fantastic.
You were wondering if they're bowing. Literally province by province, territory by territory. They are bowing to the people like they should. I mean, like, not the way Trudeau did it. Whoa, okay. They're listening to the people is what I'm trying to say. Not bowing to. There you go.
That reminds me of an old picture that's gone around. I've seen this coming up more and more recently, where you've got a tyrant who says bow, and one guy stands up, and the rest bow, and then two guys stand up, three guys. Everyone stands up, and the tyrant bows to them. And that's what we're really seeing in Canada in real time, is we're seeing these truckers say enough is enough. And yes, there are some people who are still on the government side who have rolled over. That's the same way that's in the United States, I'm ashamed to say. But there are definitely Americans who will just roll over and do whatever the government says, as if it is the all in all, and as if Fauci was God divine, which, let's be honest, he's basically claimed to be. I am the science.
Because as we see throughout history, governments have always had the good moral position, and we should always listen to them. Wink, wink. I'm joking.
Well, any tyrannical government has always sought to overthrow God. It really has. That's where they have got their desires, to try to force it, to try to overthrow, because they're not really trying to just control the people. They're trying to build themselves up and replace God with themselves. And that's why you see time and time again in many of these tyrannical nations that once the tyrannical person is gone, it just all collapses.
Yeah, we see that with like Babylon, where they try to literally build themselves up, and then all that collapsed. That's a pretty good like looking throughout history, we can see like how things are going to play out, and if we just keep doing that, then something's going to fall and something else is going to replace it. Just the nature of it.
Yep, men being burned alive in a fiery furnace for not bowing. For any Bible nuts out there, what story is that? Hint, it's in the Old Testament. goes back to Babylon.
Mm-hmm. And then, if I remember correctly, there was a third man among them who saved them, right?
And he is really shiny.
Yeah.
For
I
anyone
wonder
was
who
raised
that
up
could
on
be.
VeggieTales. So, as I said before, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Even though,
Anyway.
again, if we get talking again, I can go on and on and on. So let's go ahead and pray and wrap it up for today.
Yes.
And my wife said, pray for friend V. Yes, we will pray for friend V in his search. It really is a search for God. It's a search to know the truth.
Okay.
And it's really cool to see God move in his life and to see him explore this, because he's going down the same exact path that I went down a long time ago, with looking through historical evidence, looking through all these archived events that have happened. And Elle was just looking through some of that a couple of days ago, I think it was. And she was just, her mind was blown by how much evidence we have of Jesus's life, death, and even his resurrection.
You should do that with me.
A video about it? I already did a video about it, but we can do that again, because there's nothing wrong with redoing topics. I've been telling Elle that there's nothing wrong with redoing topics, mostly because the search algorithm buries the old videos eventually. So it's always good to bring it back up, and maybe someone will see the new videos. So yes, we should totally do that. In fact, I'll schedule that in. Again, guys, I have many live streams scheduled out for actually a couple of months in advance. I think Christmas is my last live stream I've currently scheduled out. I have a ton scheduled out, but yeah, we'll put you in there and get that going. You have a point. Yes, I'm glad I do. I'm not sure what point you're referring to, but I have at least one of those points. Hopefully it's a game that once you get 1 point, you win. And the points are good in the game, I hope, because if not, then I don't want the points. So let's go ahead and end in prayer. Lord of heaven and earth, we come before you. We thank you for the opportunity to see these events unfolding. Thank you for this breath of fresh air to see these things happen. Thank you for your provision in the website Go, whatever it is. I cannot remember it.
Give, send, go.
Thank you. Give, send, go. But thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for them being able to get the finances they need through that window. And Lord, I pray that your hand will be upon them and against the secular society that they're pushing back against. That they will not only bend their knee to them, but in the end, bend their knee to you. Because that's what we need more than anything else, more than mask mandates being removed or vaccine passports being removed, is we need you in the center of our lives. Lord, I lift up our friend V as he is going through his search for the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I ask that your hand will be upon him, that you guide him every step of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the opportunity to be able to see that, to see his search. Because it is truly amazing to see him going down the avenues I went down a long time ago. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
So thank you guys for watching, and I should have a catchphrase inserted here when I decide what it is.